And welcome to this week's edition of Laurel Park Weekly. It's Thursday, January 18th. We taped this show live here by the historic paddock at Laurel Park. For Dave Rodman, Ty Ellis, I'm Stan Salter. Let's show you what we have in store for you on the show today. We're going to preview what we have coming up this weekend. Let's show you the two stakes we have this Saturday, the $100,000 Fire Plug with a big field on Saturday, and then we have the $100,000 What a Summer Stakes on Saturday. Two nice $100,000 stakes, two top sprints on Saturday should highlight the card. Friday kicks off the race weekend here at Laurel. We have a nice carryover in that Rainbow Pick 6 on Friday. Starts race, going to start on race 3. On the 8-race program Friday, we'll start race 3, and there's the carryover, a little shy of $6,000 in that 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. So nice little Pick 6 carryover on Friday to get us going. We have a nice 3 other than allowance race on Friday to get the kick the race weekend off, and then looking forward to those $200,000 stakes on Saturday, Dave.
These $100,000 stakes have been coming up awfully tough, and we'll talk about them in just a few minutes, Stan. And the Fire Plug's a very tough group of sprinters. The What a Summer, just the name Summer's got me thinking of the thaw coming here for the spring and summer. It's going to be warmer this weekend here at Laurel Park, so come on out and watch live.
Always a nice little carryover in that Pick 6. We got the Pick 5s with the industry low takeout. You mentioned the takeout or the carryover tomorrow, which should be a nice sequence.
And our carry is not quite as big as our sister track Gulfstream. That's around $2.4 million down there. But you hit our Pick 6, that'll give you a nice little bankroll to go after that big Pick 6 down there at Gulfstream. All right, let's get right to it here. The local preview for this Saturday, the Fire Plug. It's going to be race 7 this Saturday. And let's show you Favorite Tale, the 7-year-old who became a millionaire last out in the Dave's Friend. This was January 8th here at Laurel Park. He got a 94 buyer in this win. It was a gutsy win over Struth. Favorite Tale, he was he was third in the Breeders' Cup Sprint behind Run Happy back in 2015. He's back in good form. He's going to break from the one hole in a big field in the Fire Plug Saturday.
Coming back to that 2015 or so form, his Favorite Tale. He's 7 years old right now. The big question is the short rest. He raced January 8th there, the video you showed. It's January 20th, the Fire Plug on Saturday. So a real short turnaround for a 7-year-old. I don't know, as a handicapper, you're going to believe that he's going to keep going forward, run the same, or bounce off that effort. He's got the one-hole tie.
Yeah, quick turnaround, and you know he's going to probably gun it from the one hole. He is a speed in here, but you also have a Jacobson shipper coming down, Chief Lion, who's also going to possess a lot of speed in here. I could see those two really dinging it in the front end and setting it up for a horse like a Something Awesome that we're going to preview here in a second, or my top pick, Awesome Banner, from the outside.
So. Millionaire Sprinter, Favorite Tale. That's a great way to start the stakes weekend.
Yeah, he's got a tough assignment. It's a big 12-horse field. He's going to break from the inside with Frankie Pennington. Lupe Preciado has him in good form. We'll see how good Favorite Tale is this Saturday in the Fire Plug. Let's show you the local horse, the 7-year-old by Awesome again. Something Awesome's in real good form right now since switching to the Jose Corrales barn. Here's the win December 17th here at Laurel Park, going 3/4 in a 3 other than allowance race. He got an 86 buyer in this win. They went 1-10-2. This was a good-looking win. Something Awesome in very good form here. He's 2 for 2 at Laurel Park.
This is a big step up for him, a big test for Something Awesome. Undefeated in 2 starts at Laurel, once on the slop and once on the fast track. But when they put him in here, they didn't think that actually nominations like Duchère from Linda Rice, winner of the Gravesend and Millionaire Favorite Tale, would show up. And on the far outside, another awesome horse, Awesome Banner, from the Kenny Decker barn. Tough field.
Yeah, and reading the press releases talking about Awesome Banner, there's some quotes in there from Kenny Decker. He thinks this 5-year-old, who is a greatest stakes winner, he thinks he's going to get back in good form, but he's really going to have to step it up. His last couple races haven't been very good, but he was a good second in the Grade 2 Phoenix at Keeneland back in October, Ty.
Yeah, stakes placed in not in a Grade 2, the Phoenix at Keeneland, but also the Vanderbilt at Grade 1 up at Saratoga. The Sprint, you got the Maryland Sprint here on Preakness weekend. This horse has a lot of back class. I want to touch base again on Something Awesome, the horse, third-time Corrales. The horse has really improved since switching back to the main surface, but you got another horse that finished second in that allowance race, 2 Charlies, who I think if you're going to use Something Awesome in this Pick 6 sequence that we have, hopefully we have a carryover, going into Saturday's big card. I think you have to use 2 Charlies too, who's going to be a bigger price of the 2.
Kenny Decker's awesome banner has been working those bullets. I tell you, the bullet workouts really catch the eye for a horse who was second behind Imperial Hint back in July of last year at Gulfstream Park at the Grade 3 Smile.
And he might get a real nice trip from the outside with J.D. Acosta, awesome banner. Back to something awesome. We caught up with his trainer, Jose Corrales, talking about this homebred for Adena Springs in the Stronach stable. Here's Corrales last week talking about something awesome.
He come back good. He's a nice horse. I think he's jump around after the race, and so far he's training well. I think he liked the track here. I think that's the reason why he became a nice horse. Train him, trying to get him ready. We're just dealing with the weather right now and hoping the track will stay good. And if the track will stay good, we'll be in good shape. Yeah, we'll work on probably on Saturday.
Okay. All right. All right, so that was last week. We talked to him. They probably gave him a little blowout last Saturday. He trains right here at Laurel Park. He likes his track. He'll get a nice trip from the 7-hole. Elvis Trujillo came to Maryland last fall, and he had a nice fall meet and having a good start to 2018. Trujillo.
Others in the field. It's the Journey, 5-time Laurel winner, looking to come back to best form, rocking on by. Only a 2-time Laurel winner, but second 9 times over this track. Yep. He's one of those horses you can use in your exacta trifecta tie. Good little field here. And Saturday stake, the Fire Plug.
All right, so big field there, 12 horses in the Fire Plug. Let's talk about the What a Summer. That's going to be race 8 this Saturday, going 6 furlongs, 100,007 filly and mares in here. And let's start with the 4-5 favorite, the 5, Miss Locust Point. Let's show you her win in the Willow on the Move here at Laurel Park back on December 8th. Good-looking win here. She got an 82 buyer. This 4-year-old filly dialed in really good form right now for trainer John Service. She's 2 for 3 this year as a 4-year-old. And I think she's sitting on a real big 4-year-old campaign.
2 for 2 at Laurel, can't knock that. Filly who's really, they've taken their time with her. Got to give John Service the credit. To keep her, to take her away out of action in the races in February when necessary, gave her some time, and she's come back and rewarded Cassius King and Jim Reichenberry, a dialed-in filly, Ms. Locust Point, 4 for 6 life.
Yeah, the horse's last work I wanted to point out really stands out. You don't see a 57-3 very often at tracks like Parks, so this horse is probably clicking on all cylinders, and I expect a big day. I'll probably use her as a single. I think there are some other good horses in here, but I think Miss Locust Point probably is a class above these other horses.
I misspoke. She was 2 for 3 last year as a 3-year-old. She's a lightly raced, now 4-year-old filly. I think she's sitting on a big 4-year-old campaign, lightly raced, only 6 starts, 4 wins in a second. The only time she was off the board was in the Grade 2 Forward Gal early on in her 3-year-old career. So this could be a special filly we're looking at here. Miss Locust Point going to be your deserved heavy favorite here, 4-5. George Vargas Jr. in the saddle for John Service. But let's show you the undefeated filly, number 2, Angel at War, 9-2, 4-year-old daughter of Preakness winner Shackelford for trainer Mike Gorham. She's undefeated. She's a perfect 2 for 2 here at Laurel Park, but she's taking a big step up to Stakes Company Saturday.
Yeah, like Ms. Locust Point, 2 for 2, but she's done it in lesser company. Actually claimed out of her race August 21st at Delaware, but she's won 6 out of 6. Undefeated, and she's given some heart attacks to her backers in a couple of those races. Last time a 3/4 of a length win, but she really dug in for the photo finish win in Allowance Company. But there's a big difference between beating Mischief Mawson into Bluegrass and facing the likes of Ms. Locust Point.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Angel of War appears to be, along with a bunch of other horses in here, need to lead type of horses, so this race might come down to whoever pops the gate the quickest and kind of outsprints them early. Angel at War has that kind of early speed. I don't know if she's as quick as some of the other horses in here, but she certainly can do it. Sheldon Russell's a good gate rider, and that'll be a good story, 7 for 7 after this.
Yeah, if there's a speed duel between the favorite Miss Locust Point and the undefeated filly Angel at War, could give a nice setup for the closing sprinter My Magician. She's won 2 of her last 3, both of them against Stakes Company here at Laurel Park. She just won the Politely, coming from off the pace, going 6 furlongs. She came 7 wide, got up by a neck that day. 83 buyer, My Magician, a 5-time winner here at Laurel Park for our leading trainer, Claudio Gonzalez. If there's a fast early pace, Joe Moore Torres be sitting pretty, turnover home with My Magician.
She seems to show up every time. Loves this track, no doubt about it.
This is where she trains for Claudio,
Absolutely. The big question, she faced Ms. Lucas Point on the What on the Move a couple races back and finished 6 lengths behind her. So My Magician, I do think will probably need a little bit of a pace meltdown in the front to get up, but it's not out of question with a bunch of front runners in here.
The way this track generally has been playing, we've seen some speed in the inside do a little bit better in the last few weeks, and My Magician's kind of track, it's just the way Laurel's been playing overall is kind of in her favor.
We caught up with trainer Michael Gorham this morning here at Laurel Park, 2 days before the What a Summer, talking about his undefeated filly, Angel at War. Here's what trainer Mike Gorham had to say.
Yeah, she's doing great. She came out of her last race really good, and she's had a little bit of time between races now, and she breathed well last week, and she's ready to go. First time out, she was impressive. She won by 11 lengths at Delaware, and kind of easy, and looked good doing it. And I like the look of her anyway. And we took a little shot the next time she ran for 40, 2 life for 40, and we did claim her and took a shot for 40, and it worked out pretty well. She's been racing pretty much on the lead, but I don't really think she needs the lead. So she's going to break sharp and get herself in position. I assume she'll be forwardly placed. I don't know if she'll be on the lead or not, but I'm going to leave it up to Sheldon, and he'll know what to do.
All right, so it looks like the Gorham camp confident about Angel at War, their undefeated filly, and she doesn't have to have the lead, but she does have that early tactical speed where Sheldon Russell should be in a good forwardly placed position early on.
Yeah, neither does Ms. Locust Point. So you brought out, you said maybe if they get into a duel, but it'll be an interesting tactical race to the first 3/8 of a mile between some of the speed fillies and air horses who have been on the lead but are able to rate just a little bit off the pace like a Ms. Locust Point. We'll see what George Vargas Jr. does on her. He's made all the right moves on her. He's ridden her 4 times and had 4 victories on her, Ms. Locust Point, and actually all 4 of her wins have come with George Vargas Jr.
All right, so that's what's coming up here this weekend. $200,000 stake races on Saturday, the Fire Plug and the What a Summer. That's on Saturday. Nice pick 6 carryover on Friday to kick off the 3-day race weekend. Let's get a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll show you some featured races from last weekend. Sagamore Farm and trainer Horacio De Paz, they had a big weekend. We'll show you that right after this.
In the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Either way, you win. Have a stake in the race with ExpressBet.
All right, welcome back, Laurel Park Weekly. Let's show you some big races from last weekend here at Laurel Park. Sagamore Farm and trainer Horacio De Paz, they had a couple first-out winners, and what a big weekend it was for them. Let's show you the race from this was last Saturday. They had a first-time starter by Curlin, 3-year-old filly out of the mare, Walk With a Purpose, who we know around here well. She was a champion, a Maryland-bred 3-year-old filly back in her day. The dam was 3rd in the Grade 2 Gazelle. She was 5 for 7, and here's her first foal. Dictate Cool wins at first asking with Steve Hamilton aboard for trainer Horacio De Paz.
A little close leaving the gate, a little green, then got outside, out into the clear, and kicked away nicely for Sagamore Farm under Steve Cowboy Hamilton, who's on Twitter, by the way, now.
That's right.
Did you see that?
Yeah, Steve Cowboy Hamilton,
Steve
right?
Cowboy Hamilton. He needs some followers, Ty. We'll get the word out.
Impressive. It was a 68 buyer. The dam Walk With a Purpose had the sky's the limit for that filly before her racing career ended a little too abruptly. But it looks like she passed the Jean Zalon. That was really an impressive. You wouldn't think the horse was a first-time starter. It broke a little slow and kind of worked her way out a little bit, and was an impressive winner.
So she's by curling out of a champion Greater Stakes place mare. So good things to come, big things to come from Dictate Cool, a homebred filly for Sagamore Farm and trainer Horacio De Paz. They weren't done. That was Saturday. And then, well, let's show you real quick Mr. Benz. We can't forget about Mr. Benz last Saturday. Our two other than allowance races around here are very tough, and this 6-year-old son of Ghost Sapper's in good form right now for Claudio Gonzalez. Here's his second win in a row against two other than allowance company.
Did it with a ground-saving run despite a lot of trouble at the start, pinched down at the start. But Jomar Torres saved ground around the turn, and entering the stretch, got through down to the inside of the tiring Vim, who made all the running at 21-1, tried to hang in there, just got beat for second in Vim. Concordia's way up for second. Just another day in the Claudio Gonzalez barn, another win picture on the wall.
Was claimed out of the race. It was in for 25, got claimed by the Jesus Cruz barn, so won't be seeing him in the Claudio Gonzalez barn, at least for another couple races, unless he gets claimed back. But it was a good win. Tough to see the horse go. He's one of those, I'm guessing, a barn favorite, kind of a money maker, and always getting ready to get the picture taken.
Claiming box has been active, too. I noticed the first, especially last week here at Laurel Park.
Yeah, that's a sign of a healthy meet. When the claim box is active, that means we have new owners spending money. That's a sign of a healthy meet. So we're off to a good start for 2018. Yeah, Mr. Ben's a good claim. Claudio got him for 16,000. Let's see, 2 seconds and 2 wins in nice allowance races. They lose him for 25. That's how you do it. Claudio Gonzalez, our leading trainer. So that was a couple big wins from last Saturday. Let's show you another Sagamore Farm homebred from last Sunday. Global Citizen, 3-year-old colt by To Honor and Serve. Sagamore owned and bred. Trainer Horacio De Paz, Dave Hamilton. They do it again. Global Citizen, a $6.20 winner last Sunday.
Yeah, on debut, and he's a little bit kind of green there, looking over to the grandstand. I just noticed there at the beginning of the video, but once he got his mind on business, kind of rolled to the wire, I think he's got room for plenty of improvement. That was a good time, a 111.65 for that maiden special weight first run Global Citizen, who is a son of To Honor and Serve, but he's a Maryland bred from Sagamore.
Yep, he's a half-brother to Shoe Loves Shoe, and also Tizgal, who made over 100,000. So that's a good-looking win. Nice, good to see these. They've invested a lot in the game, and good to see their homebreds get into the winner's circle.
And so a couple of first-time starters there for Sagamore. You noticed how Sagamore was dropping a lot of horses down in claiming prices, not only here, but I noticed, I think, one in Florida, I believe today. Yesterday, so they want some room for the new flesh coming in the barn, the new horses that they bred or purchased, and people are buying those Sagamore horses out of the claiming box in reference to what I was saying earlier in the claiming box being active.
Absolutely, it's a good sign for the meet, and I think we're going to look back at this maiden special weight and say this was a live race. Maynooth, even though he hasn't won yet, he's competed. He's going to be tough. Two Charlies is a first Samurai colt, $100,000 purchase. I think we're going to look back at this and see some allowance, maybe even some stakes winners come out of here.
Lubkovitz Palos, who finished fourth in there, I believe, opened as a favorite in the race, got a little early money, kind of made a move on the turn and flattened out. That was a first-time starter you may want to watch from the Graham Motion barn. It was decent fourth, kind of even paced it in the stretch after widening the turn.
Probably once longer. Lubkovitz Palos out of the dam. Carla Vivari by Dynaformer. She was a grade 1 winner. She won the Ashland going long at Keeneland. Also had 3 turf wins going long. So, yeah, maybe more real estate down the road for Lubkovitz Palos, maybe even turf.
Yeah, real estate and some green grass coming in the spring.
So Sagamore and Horacio De Paz, they weren't done with their first out winners. They also had a big day on Monday, as we had a nice Martin Luther King holiday edition last Monday. They had a couple winners last Monday, right? Annapolis Class and Proportionality. They went 4 for 4 this weekend here at Laurel Park.
Yeah, Proportionality, one of the droppers kind of speaking of earlier, and Annapolis Class makes it 2 for 2. Broke the maiden, and, well, I know how to do this. Came back again in a gritty effort to win the finale on MLK Monday.
All right, so that was some big races from Laurel Park here last week, and let's show you some big races from around the country. Last week here on the show, we talked about the Grade 3 Lecomte. There were some Laurel winners for Larry Jones in the race. Let's see. Here's Instilled Regard, though, for trainer Jerry Hollendorfer. A good-looking 3-year-old son of Arch gets to win with Javier Castellano.
That 1,346-foot-long stretch at the fairgrounds, Instilled Regard, loving every bit of it there to win by 3 3/4. returning 660 and beating the favorite, Principe Guillermo, I guess it is, who had a terrible trip, really a wide trip, caught 5 path the first turn, 4 wide the far turn. The winner of the race a little wide as well, but I'd like to see them. I'm sure they'll meet down the road again in some of the Louisiana Derby type preps as the Lecomte. Cowboy Karma, who you know here from the Mid-Atlantic region, finishing 5th at 8-1 for Larry Jones.
Yeah, still regard the winner kind of has proven the Southern California form. Came out of the Mackenzie Salamini race, all byering in the mid-90s, so good figures there. I'm not sure this horse, being a dam out of the forestry, I'm not sure Derby distance is going to be quite up his alley, but I think this $1 million purchase, Jerry Hollendorfer as a trainer, has a bright future.
Well, Louisiana Derby obviously going to, I think, be his target, I would guess. Hollendorfer, you mentioned for OXO Equine. It's a new ownership group. Their person, Larry Best, is the guy's name. And so, again, new owners in the game. So it's good to see somebody come along and get a horse with a lot of promise into this 3-year-old season.
All right, instilled regard. Add him to your 3-year-olds to watch this Derby and Preakness prep season. Let's show you a big Grade 2 from Gulfstream last weekend. The Grade 2 Fort Lauderdale going long on the turf. Here's the winner, Shining Cooper, an 8-year-old for trainer Mike Maker.
Yeah, there's Shining Copper there. And look at One Go, All Go. Just pass him, just for a moment, right there. And if you had him at 30-1, come on, baby. Nope. But
Gutsy.
Shining Copper comes back to beat him.
Yeah.
That's brutal if you had him at 30-1. Good effort, though, in both runners, and they were 2 clear of all included. 5-1 winner for the Maker Barn, Ken Sarah Ramsey.
Gutsy win by Shining Copper. Disappointing by your heavy favorite, Heart to Heart. Might need to take some time off and regroup, maybe point to Saratoga again for him.
All right, so now over $800,000 in earnings for Shining Copper for the Ramseys and Mike Maker. So that's some big races from last weekend. We showed you the big races we have coming up here this Saturday at Laurel Park. Check out this show. You can catch it on the laurelpark.com website. The right underneath handicapping, you can see all our picks online and watch Laurel Park Weekly under the handicapping section on the laurelpark.com website. Looking forward to a good weekend of racing. It's going to warm up for us this weekend as well. We'll have some nice warm wintertime weather. The snow might be melting away here.
Yeah, a few snowflakes blowing off the historic Laurel Park Ben's Cat paddock here, blowing our way. But that's okay. It's warming up this weekend, and nothing will warm you up like hitting that Rainbow Pick 6 at Gulfstream maybe as a single ticket holder. If you can't settle for that, how about our Pick 6 here at Laurel?
Absolutely. We've also, I wanted to mention, we've also introduced a podcast channel. So this has turned into a podcast. You just search for it in iTunes. You put in Maryland Jockey Club, and you can listen to us in your car. We'll put this up as soon as we get it.
I like it. We're on iTunes.
Yep.
Good stuff. All right, we'll see you out here this weekend. For Ty Ellis, Dave Robin, I'm Stan Salter. Good luck. We hope to see you this weekend.